Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. We left off last time after having found Dawnbreaker and beginning our search for an Elder Scroll. That's where we're beginning this time. Simple as that. We're looking for an Elder Scroll. We've been taken down into this cold little cavern. Who knows what we're going to find in here? Well, I have an inkling, but we'll see as we go, you know what I mean? Yeah, I hear somebody. I might have passed by him already. Who on earth would be down here? I mean, we're down here, but this is a pretty, pretty strange setup, you know what I mean? We have not encountered other, normal individuals down here. I guess you could put it that way. Maybe we didn't pass them by.
Hey, watch it.
Let's keep it moving down this way. Let's keep it moving. So last time we reclaimed Dawnbreaker for Meridia. I think I was saying Merida the whole time last time. And then when I was, writing the title of the video, I thought, I better check how to spell the name. And I was like, oh, I think it's Meridia, actually. How about that? I have been wrong for more than 10 years at this point. And then we continued on the main story quest line, even though I keep promising I'm going to do the Civil War quest line. And now we're looking for an Elder Scroll. We're in this sort of dwarven area. Interesting. Can we get through here? It would be nice. Oh, we may have to take the long way around. You know what I mean? We talked to this old researcher last time. Yes, Septimus Cygnus, as described, a brilliant but mad scholar. We've been directed here to this dwarven observatory. Alright, a quick refresher there. It's been a bit since I've recorded, honestly. I've been, a little busy over the past week or so. But it's always nice to return to a bit of Skyrim, right? I feel like I say this every time. Maybe I wouldn't feel this way if I recorded more often. Sorry, everybody. But, I record about once a week. Not to mention that, of course, I release every weekend, but I do not necessarily have a set day when I record.
Who is this, brother? Another of the smooth.
Who the hell are you?
For food?
Smoothskin. Fallout reference. Oh, okay. Instantly violent. I didn't want to get into it with you, man. I thought we could have had a friendly conversation, but now I'm cracking your skull open. That's unfortunate. I mean, we heard a little bit of that conversation. Let's see what his journal says. This one is at his wit's end. I signed Jadar and myself up for this expedition to try and get him clean of the skooma. I brought a small supply to try and bring him down slowly. Better than cold turkey. But the storm has had us trapped in the glacier for weeks. Interesting. Run out of the skooma. Jadar's getting pretty bad. He started hallucinating. Others are starting to think he might be behind Valley's disappearance, but I know he would never do something like that. Well, I think he might have. I mean, look, I don't want to judge, but, well, it might have been the machinations of this old dwarven observatory, but it doesn't appear to have been going too well for old Jadar, you know? Poor fella. I mean, he was just trying to get him off the skooma, but this probably wasn't a great way to do it, I gotta be honest. I mean, I don't know if they have skooma rehab in Skyrim. I'd be surprised if they did. But maybe, taking him on some sort of odd adventure is not the best way to get him off of drugs. I mean, I'm thinking of all the fantasy adventures I've gone on, video games and D&D. I don't know if any of them have ever gotten my character off of drugs. Maybe occasionally gotten my character addicted to drugs. Everyone take notes on that. But yeah, I don't have a set day that I record these, so it might be that, you know, one week I'm recording on Monday, and then the next week, maybe I'm recording on like Friday or something. So, you know, with more than just a week's difference in between them. Though I generally sort of record midweek. I mean, if I'm recording Friday, it becomes a bit challenging to get it out by Saturday, which is why they sometimes come out on Sunday. Apologies, everybody. So, you know, I try to keep it more middle of the week, but, you know, I got stuff to do. Like I said, I usually record these sort of like at night when I have a bit of free time. This is also when I usually game. So, I mean, all I really do is just take the time when I might be gaming and then record instead. We'll try and unlock this. I hate lockpicking. But, you know, sometimes I'm a little tired, maybe I've had a long day, you know, etc., etc. And I might put it off for, I'll do it tomorrow, and then you get to tomorrow and you say, well, I'll do it the day after that, and that's how you end up recording on Friday when you're supposed to release the thing on Saturday. Not too bad. And I mean, you know, it's kind of a mixed situation, right? Like, it is... I mean, thinking about recording a Let's Play versus just playing, you know, you need to put on a bit of a performance when you're recording anything. So you definitely need to put more effort into it than if you were just playing the game. But, on the other hand, if I was just gaming, I wouldn't be playing Skyrim, you know what I mean? I mean, I've played this game plenty. I do pick it up every once in a while, despite my claims otherwise, but if not for this Let's Play, I would not be consistently coming back to Skyrim, doing a whole ass playthrough. So, you know, that is one of the benefits that's come from this, is I've, you know, had a bit of a return to this classic, and, you know, I mean, we're consistently doing it. We're gonna get through a quote-unquote whole playthrough. I mean, I know there is no whole playthrough officially, but you know what I mean? A full playthrough where we do a lot of stuff. I saw that on the last video, I was just looking at the comments, good old LightX Heaven recommended that we could intersperse some of the Daedric quests throughout whatever else we're doing, and I think that's a fine idea. And by fine, I mean that's a mighty fine idea. I think, you know, I don't know if I intend to do all of them, but we could definitely do a couple of them as we go through some of this other stuff we have to do. Ooh. I'll take these for now because I mean, I would like to disenchant and or sell some of this stuff, but we're, you know, carry weight 304 out of 320. We're getting close to being over encumbered. Though, if we get to that point, it'll be pretty easy to drop a bunch of the crap that I've picked up. Though, once again, I do not intend to 100% this. This is not going to be that kind of playthrough. I do not want to give you guys the wrong idea. This is not the kind of playthrough where I'm like, alright, I'm gonna, you know, fight every Dragon Priest and do every Daedric quest and etc, etc. Because, you know, I would eventually like to move on from Skyrim. Skyrim's good. It's great, even, but, you know, it'd be nice to do something else at some point. I think especially, I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping to get a new computer at some point, sometime soon-ish. I think that would be good. And then we might actually have the possibility of recording gameplay on the computer, which would open up a, you know, a whole new land of opportunities, which are closed to me right now because my current computer, I'm working with this old-ass laptop. It's really beyond its prime. And I do a lot on it. I edit, I record for all these channels I've got. Well, actually, that's a lie. I don't record for this channel, but, I record for the main channel and the reaction channel. But, frankly, it sometimes has a hard time even managing that level of intensity, so it really cannot handle recording gameplay of any kind. It's, it's a wonder that it's made it this far at all, and it's done its service, it really has. I'm trying not to set myself on fire there. So, it needs to be replaced sometime soon. But, I'm not made of money. I'm really not. I'm a student, a young scholar. I especially don't have that much money. So, it is what it is, right? We're doing what we can, Hey, if anything, I'll put it this way. Oh no, don't. Holy shit. Holy. Oh my god, I'm using the wrong potion. What a disaster. I mean, it's not that I wasn't paying attention. Y'all saw me trying to dodge those pressure plates. Move, Lydia. I just completely failed to do it. We've been surprised. No, but what I was saying is, hey, this should serve as proof to any of you that you really do not need a fancy setup to record any kind of content you want. I mean, not that these videos are super successful or anything. I'm just doing them because I enjoy them, and there's a few of you who follow along, which I very much appreciate. Plus, I've enjoyed gaming content since I was a kid, so it's a fun little experience, but I'm literally sitting here on my couch, filming with my phone, recording on my PS4. It's an extremely jank setup. There is nothing fancy about this. And, well, it would be better if there was something fancy about it, especially the audio. I'd like to improve that at some point, but as of right now, this is what we're doing. So if you're someone out there who's like, maybe I could record gaming videos. But I don't have the equipment. Trust me, you have the equipment. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, this ain't my bread and butter, right? My main focus on YouTube is the history and the reaction videos. Which, I mean, they're not super high production either, but, they're a bit higher production than this. Or at least more streamlined than this. But, anyone can do it, really. I guess I'm just gonna drop down here. I don't really like to drop down without knowing how to get back up, but that seemed to be the way to go, I suppose. And I feel like we're due to find some Falmers soon. I'm pretty sure I remember, running down this staircase and encountering Falmer. I might be wrong. Oh my goodness, a big yawn. I apologize for my rudeness. Interesting. I wonder if this was another member of that adventuring party. There was the two Khajiit, one of which we killed, and Orc. Yep. There's the Falmer. And then there was mentioned in the journal, what was it? I almost said Valerie, but I think it was Valley or Bailey or something. Some sort of name like that. I wonder if we're going to find that person in particular. I mean, these are the kind of things that, despite the fact that I've played the game so many times, it's not like I have that committed to memory. I'm not like, yes, and, these are the NPCs you find while skulking around this dwarven observatory. Nope. It's just as much a surprise to me as you at this point. Oh, goodness. Come on now, Falmer. Jesus. I'm just running into these traps, but I guess we're enough of a tank to just handle it. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning today. Apologies, everybody. I'm yawning, but it's one of those things where, you know, I'm in a pretty good mood today. Feeling pretty energetic at the moment, like mentally, but sometimes, you know how it is sometimes where you're like, you know what, I'm raring to go. You know, I could stay up and keep going, but your body is like, no, you're tired, buddy. Alright. What do we have down here? Oh, more Falmer. Now we have some real Falmer encampments. You have been poisoned. God damn it. I'm trying to summon our Fire Atronach more so we can get some of that conjuration experience. Because right now... a perk point. We got a perk point. Yeah, right now our restoration's better than our conjuration, which is fine. Honestly, I don't mind that much. That's not bad. I just wanted to check the spell levels, or the skill tree levels, but now I'm kind of like looking at what we have, and if I should spend this perk point. I don't think so. We got that's 80. What is 60? Yeah, that's good. We'll need that. Alright, anyway, let's leave it for now. We've got as we've discussed before, our character is not necessarily a jack of all trades. It's not quite that bad, but he is kind of general. You know, we're invested in a lot of skill trees, so sometimes when I'm looking through them, I'm like trying not to get too overwhelmed. Cause I'm like, okay, we need some perk points in there, some in there. Of course, I'm like, okay, obviously we need perk points for, you know, heavy armor, one-handed weaponry, conjuration. But then we also have sort of the secondary priorities. Holy shit! Look at that, Fusro. I killed them all. Very satisfying. We also have those secondary priorities that are like smithing, enchanting. That's basically it for us. I mean, it's not like we're not going to be putting any points into alchemy. Definitely not. But for us, smithing and enchanting. And they can suck up a lot of perk points. I mean, smithing, that's already taken... And enchanting, frankly, at this point. Both of them have already taken a couple of perk points from us. Okay. Ooh, this is a little dangerous. Actually a little dangerous. Let's try not to get too wrapped up in all these different guys. And... honestly, a slow time might be effective. Come on now. Oh. Let's keep healed. Because I don't want to get hit and just suddenly die. You know, I mean, at some points, there you go. At some points, you get hit, you die, and you're like, damn, that's unfortunate. But if I was to die right there, I'd be like, alright, that one's on me. I get it, that one's on me. You know, it's interesting, I feel like we've got, not necessarily two different phases, but there's a bit of a difference to the commentary when we're playing, depending on what we're doing. Now, of course, that's pretty self-evident. Oh. Oh no. Well, there's Valley. I still don't know how to pronounce that. That's unfortunate. So, Jadar wasn't doing well, but it seems like what that journal was referencing is that probably Falmer came out of nowhere and captured this woman, along with maybe that other orc we saw. And then, of course, it was kind of like, well, what actually happened? Are we supposed to take that elevator down, or do we just, maybe we just keep walking? But there's sort of a difference between episodes, or at least parts of episodes, where, say we're doing something like this, where we're just walking around this dungeon, you know, not too much, or so far any dialogue, no interactions, so I can just keep yapping. And apart from the occasional interruption, like finding a dead body, I sort of have free reign. For me, what I'm doing is, you know, while I'm recording, I'm basically just got part of my brain devoted to running through playing. It's fairly satisfying, and then a big chunk of my brain, frankly, is devoted to just chatting. In contrast, we have episodes. I think of some of our College of Winterhold episodes where my focus is far more on the game and engaging with the game as we're walking around, talking to people, and in a situation like that, my commentary then is also related to just interacting with the game. You know what I mean? As in, what I'm saying is just commentary on what's happening, or reading out dialogue, and that kind of stuff. It's interesting because, of course, Skyrim has both, but depending on the game you're playing, it might be weighted more one way or another. Like, if we did a... What's a good example? If we did a Minecraft playthrough, we're not doing that, but first example that came to mind, if we did a Minecraft playthrough, y'all would just be getting the most random commentary imaginable as I just came up with stuff to say. But if we were to do a Disco Elysium Let's Play, which I think we very well will do, then you can bet that the vast majority of the commentary would be related to what was currently happening on screen, the dialogue, the interactions, all that sort of business. Talking about what's happening on screen, would you look at this?
I've never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah. For once, I agree with you, Lydia. This is pretty remarkable. And I think I remember saying, either when we arrived or before we arrived, that, you know, we get some pretty remarkable locations during this quest in particular. Although I guess it's sort of all one big location, but, you know, there's like different parts to the dungeon. So you get some pretty interesting stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think this is where we, that's the next place we have to go. I'll put it that way. And I believe there's a bit of a fight waiting for us up there, if I'm remembering correctly. I say that a lot, but really, a lot of this is based on, you know, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh yeah, there is definitely yeah. I am remembering correctly. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but we've got a fight waiting for us over there. I'm not unlocking that chest. I can't be bothered. Is it like unlocking an adept chest for like 30 gold, potion, and some iron gauntlets? Man, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Alright, you guys ready? There it is. That's what we're doing, everybody. We've got a big centurion to fight. Now this can be dangerous. This can actually be dangerous. You know. I mean, we are fairly beefy, and on top of that, we do a lot of damage, but these guys do a lot of damage. So it really doesn't take... Okay, well... I'm talking up this fight as we just absolutely demolish this guy. But you know how it is. It depends on the situation, right? Like, I think we played that pretty well. We had our Atronach doing work. He was focused on Lydia. But if it's just you straight up fighting one of these Centurions, they can be tough at times. They can. We also got a Grand Soul Gem from that for free. Honestly, if you're looking for free Grand Soul Gems, this is probably one of the best ways of getting them. Though, of course, it's kind of difficult to source them. You don't find that many Centurions just randomly about Skyrim, right? Oh, alright.
Sulla, let's just get out of here. Hasn't there been enough death?
Of course, you want me to leave. Just waiting for me to turn my back. So you can have all the glory for yourself.
Sulla. Oh man, we're fighting? Really no interactions in this dungeon. Y'all just go for it. Sulla Trebatius. Now, Sulla was a rather prominent character of Roman history, if any of y'all are familiar with that. But, I mean, I would guess that, like most things Imperial, this is not a specific... Oh, she got... Oh, no, wait, what happened? I thought she was gonna get him, but he healed and then we got him. My goodness. You know... Oh... I totally forgot about the shield. This is a unique shield. And we're over encumbered. What can we drop? Let's not drop Dawnbreaker. I'd rather not drop anything good. Oh, what am I talking about? Lydia. Take some of this crap.
How can I serve you, my lane?
In fact, I have something great for you. You'll love this. Staff of Fireballs. You'll use that. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck it.
I've got your back.
I was gonna drop it, but since I already picked it up, I'll just give it to Lydia. Here. And take some of this stuff so I don't get over-encumbered so quickly. Alright. Okay, back to the Sulla thing. My guess is that's not specifically based on the Roman historical figure Sulla, right? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too deeply into Imperial lore in Skyrim, but it seems to me it's more based on the aesthetic of sort of late Republican, early Imperial Rome, rather than the actual substance, you know? Unless there was a very clever reference that I missed there, but... And maybe there was, I don't know. Alright. Oh, Blackreach. This is where we were being directed to by our friend Septimus. If you guys remember. Now this, when I was saying we find some truly remarkable locations, this is what I was talking about. Look at this. Now look, I don't necessarily think Skyrim has... You know what? You don't often get a lot of impressive moments like this, but here it is. I think this is a really cool dungeon, in my opinion. And you know what? You don't spend much time in it at all. And it's something that I feel like I often forget about. I knew Lydia would use that staff. She's kind of fucking it up. She's gonna use it up within a couple of uses, but whatever. I don't really care. But this is a dungeon I often forget about, because, you know, it's part of the main story, and it's pretty deep in as well. And, as I've said, I think, many times before at this point, when I'm playing Skyrim, to be honest, well, first of all, I've done a lot of playthroughs throughout my time, and most of them I do not finish or commit to for a long period of time. And so I only do a certain amount of stuff. Crimson Nirnroot. Interesting. I think that's unique to this cavern. So I only do a specific amount of stuff whenever I play, and what I'm most attracted to is usually like the factional quest lines. You know, I'm joining the Thieves Guild and the Companions and the Dark Brotherhood and all that sort of business. I'm not usually doing the main quest line. Oh, very interesting. So this would take us back up. Okay, good. And when I do the main quest line, I honestly... Whoa! Hello. I might not be making it this far. Because, we've got a bit to go, for sure. I'm not saying we're, like, close to done, but, you know, we're pretty deep in. I'm gonna do a bit of exploration. I feel like I don't usually do a whole lot of exploration in here. So I'm kind of curious what we might find. Oh, wow! Sindarian. There's the guy. Let's read his field journal. Okay. Honestly, I don't remember the significance of Nirnroot. So, no, obviously I don't remember the significance of Crimson Nirnroot. Mystery of Nirnroot, unfulfilled, strange herb. Okay. Red Nirnroot. He's discovered red Nirnroot. Obeth Arnesian, a treasure seeker from Skyrim, exploring Blackreach, and he found it there. He brought one to Sindarian, and then he came here after a year of planning. And he made inquiries at the College of Winterhold, of which he was an honorary member. Wow, this is quite the story. His whole journey to enter Blackreach. He used a lexicon to get in here. I mean, to be fair, think of the journey it took us to get here. Our friend here took, well, a different path, but sort of equally intensive one. Fascinating. Fascinating stuff. I've been hearing this in the background the whole time. Okay. Skill book. Ooh, and an arcane enchanter. Great. And my goodness, this guy had quite the supply, eh? Daedra Heart. That's kind of rare. Let me see if I have anything to disenchant. Now I'm trying to decide if we're gonna go through this and actually find all the Crimson Nirnroot. I'm not sure.
How can I serve you, my Thane?
Alright, I just need to see if I can disenchant any of these. I feel like we might already have the, Oh, okay. Not bad. Some good soul gems, too?
Still here.
Good stuff. Alright, the rest of this is just to sell, then. So you can take it. I do not want it. Take this, and this. We're still pretty encumbered. You can take this, I guess. Take this as well. Alright. I guess we have a lot of random stuff as well. We're not as encumbered, but we're still relatively encumbered. I'm trying to decide if we're gonna pick up all of this Crimson Nirnroot. Seems like quite the undertaking. Also, I think we would legitimately have to find it. AKA, no map markings. It's pretty rare for Skyrim. I think, well, I guess we'll see what happens. I think it just might take us a little bit. Not to say I don't mind spending my time in this playthrough, but it would definitely take us a bit to find all the stuff we were looking for. Get over here. Sorry, my friends, just a soul Falmer wandering around. You do not stand a chance. You do not stand a chance. Oh, he was fishing. No, now I feel a little bit bad. Oh. This is like the survival update. You can fish. Alright, I have to try it. I've never once fished in Skyrim before. And also here, there's Nirnroot around here somewhere. And I'm gonna try and fish. This is my first time fishing in Skyrim. While fishing, press activate to reel in your line. Reeling in when there's a strong pull in your line will reel in your catch. Ripples on the surface or from nearby fish. Okay. Oh. I'm trying to work out how to use this minigame. I got a fish, everybody. I caught my first fish in Skyrim. Visit the... Oh my goodness! How about that? So from this recent update, even I am discovering new things about this game. I guess we can also come back. I mean, I'm trying to decide, like, oh, what do I do in Blackreach? But if we really wanted to, we could come back later and get to some of this stuff that we might not get to here. Oh, no. I've got a fishing rod equipped. Goodness. Well, they're not hostile yet. I think there's quite the variety of creatures, dangerous creatures down here that I don't really want to engage with if I don't have to. Okay. Or... Wow. You know, I feel like I don't usually give this dungeon its due, you know what I mean? And I feel like it doesn't get the attention it deserves, maybe. I mean, I don't necessarily... I don't know. I mean, not that I hear too much talk about Skyrim these days, but when I do, it's not usually about Blackreach, right? What is going on? This dungeon's so big, but I feel like this is pretty remarkable for Skyrim, you know? A dungeon of this size with all this sort of stuff to do. Where is this going to lead us out to? I'm trying to not necessarily get too lost as we make our way through this dungeon. So where are we now? Random tower, okay. Oh, whoops. I thought I had fire breath equipped. We should also probably head back to the entrance of Blackreach and take that elevator up, because my guess is that it is locked, and we'll have to unlock it from the inside. Though I don't at all know where this is going to lead us. Holy Lydia! I'm glad, well, it seems like she doesn't actually damage me with that. So this is not a D&D situation where, you know, you're all in the same room, and your wizard says, I cast Fireball, and everyone gets disintegrated.
Huh?
Oh. Oh. Very curious. That's not what I expected. It brought us up higher in Blackreach. Okay. It doesn't necessarily look like there's anything else I can access from up here, so it's probably best not to fall down. I'll just take the elevator again and make my way through this weird little spider tunnel. Fucking frostbite spiders, no good at all. But yeah, we should head back to the start of the dungeon and use that elevator that we found, which led back up to Skyrim. Because I think that's going to open another entrance to this place. Shortcut. It's kind of... I mean, not to make... The comparison doesn't make any sense, but, you know, it's a little Metroidvania, you know what I mean? And we're opening up a little Dark Souls, a little Metroidvania, etc., etc. Opening up new paths to take. Usually in Skyrim, you just open up a new fast travel destination. I feel like I can constantly hear Nirnroot. I'm not particularly on the search for Crimson Nirnroot, but, you know, I'll collect him if I find him. And at this moment, I think we collected 9 of 30, so we're almost a third of the way there, which really isn't bad at all. So I think there's a chance we might collect him. before we leave here. Maybe. I guess we'll see. I feel like I'm making an effort to appreciate this damn dungeon, because I've never really given it the time of day. And for Skyrim, once again, it's a pretty unique sort of dungeon with the depth that it has. Though we do also have a mission, we've been sent here. Alright, that brings us back where we came from. Will this do anything? No. I don't know. I thought it might, bring down the building or something. Yeah, worth a try, right? There's definitely some Nirnroot. That's the thing, you can hear Nirnroot everywhere. Might be a little quiet for you guys. I'm not sure how well you guys can hear it, but, I can hear it just about everywhere in here. But sometimes the search can be a little futile. But we do have a quest. We came here to collect an Elder Scroll. So I don't necessarily want to get too sidetracked. Also because this whole thing is a bit of a distraction from the Civil War, which is what we're supposed to be doing. But, yeah. So this is the thing we saw earlier. Is it? Did we see this earlier? There's a dragon over there. Now I'm trying to remember if we did see this earlier. Well, regardless, shortcut, basically. Great. This will be an easy way back in if we need it. But, I don't know. I think we'll manage to do everything we need to do while we're in here. We gotta get the Crimson Nirnroot. We gotta find this damn Elder Scroll. We need to see what else we can find in this mysterious little cavern. And also, this is unrelated, but we did also pick up a fishing quest. To be fair, I think that sort of added to the wonder of the whole thing, because like I said, I have never fished in Skyrim. This is a part of the new... the big update that they released. I say recently, it was... When was it? A couple months ago now? I don't really remember. I'm not really keeping up with Skyrim updates in this day and age, but that new update that had a bunch of stuff, including survival elements. Now we can fish, and we got a questline from it. In also sort of traditional Skyrim fashion. It needs to give you a waypoint. It says, oh, you just started fishing? That's great. Here's a waypoint to follow. But I will be curious to see what this whole fishing quest is. And I'll say, that'll be something that is 100% new to me. I think also we had one quest far earlier in this playthrough, real near the beginning, where I fell into a hole and got tricked by some guy, or fell into a trap that I think was also new, or that I just hadn't encountered before. So the fishing stuff will be new. That'll be, you'll get my, unadulterated first-time reaction. Which is, kind of what most Let's Plays are about. I guess this one's a bit of an exception, because y'all are literally getting my, 20th time veteran reaction to everything, but I guess maybe there's sort of a different appeal to that. Copium, I tell myself. There's a dead Falmer. Maybe that was from Lydia shooting fireballs. Don't fall off. There you go. Anything good? Wow. There's a lot of good stuff in here, I gotta say. I have been, Now, once again, I'll give myself a little bit of credit. I did literally mention, earlier in this episode and in last episode that we were heading to a pretty unique location, and we've made it, but I gotta say, I think I underestimated the amount of stuff that was around this dungeon. I also think it's pretty cool, I think one of the interesting parts about Skyrim lore is some of the stuff that they do differently, some of the stuff that they do uniquely, as in the dwarves, that is our traditional name for them. and stuff like the Falmer, which are technically like blind albino elves, I guess, who have just been underground for a really long time, if I'm remembering the lore correctly. War quarters. Okay, what is going on in there? I guess this is sort of a Blackreach dominated episode.
Huh?
And then I guess next episode will be also partially Blackreach. And then hopefully partially actually finishing the quest we're supposed to be doing. And then maybe the episode after that will be us starting the Civil War. Okay, what is this? More Dwemer stuff. I don't know. Okay. So does that mean that we've been around here before? Or not? Or is it just so compact that we're seeing everything? Is this... Can I get back up this platform? It looks like a drop, and I don't want to risk it. I think we... I can't really tell. It doesn't look like there's much else in here anyway. Well, at this point, I'm like, what's behind every door? Is this a new little area? I actually want to check. Skyrim is... Oh, okay, that's... Okay, never mind. Literally where we just were. Give you... Well, I guess my Skyrim sense of direction ain't that great. I was going to say it gives you some idea of my sense of direction, but my sense of direction in real life isn't really that bad. I guess in that... I'm not that good at exploring dungeons, alright? Cut me some slack. My dungeon exploring experience is not that much. Ow. This looks like a trap of some kind. It's not suspicious at all. Ritual sacrifice? Yeah. Those things are nasty. I mean... They don't seem to do much damage to the NPCs, but whenever I get hit by them, you know, I take a whole lot of damage. Alright, so I think we can keep going around that way, or we can go down here. So we're heading down, of course. And then back up. You know, it's a little bit, forgive the pun, labyrinthian. Using that as a descriptor. There's a lot of different directions you can go. Okay, we've got 12. Wow. Oh. They have specifically designed encounters here as well. Which is kind of strange for Skyrim, to be honest. I'm not going to be able to Fusroda them. Alright, well, we'll see how this goes. I'm a tad worried. I'm about to get destroyed. Actually, we'll use our level up. Put it into health. Why not? We're going to need it right now. There are a lot of specifically designed encounters here. Like, specifically when you find some more Crimson Nirnroot, you turn around and there's enemies coming to get you. Which is... It is odd for Skyrim. That is sort of unique. It's also annoying. I mean, I made the comparison to Dark Souls with the new route back up, but, you know, having enemies randomly attack you when you find an item is also very Dark Souls coded. I don't necessarily like swimming around too much, but I kind of think we might find some more Nirnroot down here. Mine Geode Vein. What is this? Geode Vein? Soul gems? What is going on? We got a greater, then a lesser, then a common. I mean, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, I feel like I'm discovering a whole bunch of stuff that I just did not know was down here, to be honest with you. Derelict Pump House. Wow. So yeah, this is some of the really interesting stuff in Skyrim, I think. I honestly thought that was an enemy sprinting at me for a second. you know, all of these old Dwemer contraptions. It's, I mentioned this before, but it, you know, it's kind of unique, and I think it's pretty interesting. You know, it has the sort of allure of the whole lost civilization thing, which I always think is sort of interesting. Also, the, like, not only a lost civilization, but a lost civilization that was apparently technologically superior, which obviously piques one's interest. Let me see, anything up here? A pathway. Alright, should we follow this? Is this the best way to go? Maybe. Because of course it makes you think like, oh, well, what happened? And what happened to the technology? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. Also, the Dwemer. You know, it's just a real unique take on dwarves. In fact, it's really different from most other interpretation of dwarves you see. Now, there is some similarity in that, you know, dwarves are known for smithing and crafting. And sometimes dwarves can be a little steampunky, but, you know, usually not to this extent. So I do think it's a very interesting depiction of the dwarves, or aka the Dwemer. And then, you know, I always like that. I think Lydia's got him. Nope, I've got him. You know, wherever you find, not wherever, but most of the time when you find an old Dwemer ruin, you have to contend with the Balmer. This race, I don't really remember the lore, so maybe someone can remind me, or maybe we'll run into it later. This race of, you know, sort of weird underground albino elves who have been down here for a long-ass time. It's sort of a odd relationship there. What's going on in here? Hello? That's odd. Seems, it's all closed off. There's an exit to Skyrim in here. What is happening? What am I missing here? It's gotta be some sort of, switch. I don't really want to unlock this. Would that get us further? I'm not sure. Well, we'll leave it for now. We'll leave it for now, because I don't want to unlock an expert gate. Maybe I missed something there.
Huh?
If so, you guys can tell me, and we'll come back next time, because I think we're going to still be here next time. I'm kind of... I would... not necessarily describe myself as a completionist, but also that might just be a lie, because I can be completionist at times. I mean, I have 100% platinum Skyrim, right? You know, platinum being the PlayStation trophy that you get when you've gotten all other trophies. So I do have a bit of a completionist tendency at times. And I think, like, the Nirnroot collecting is really... I wouldn't necessarily say it's scratching that itch, because I'm almost annoyed at myself for wanting to do it, but, you know, it's really getting me there. I'm watching that Nirnroot number tick up. So is this the, same? Yeah, this has got to be the same one that we saw earlier, I think. Okay, now I feel like I'm getting turned around, to be honest with you. Maybe we head towards the objective. That might sort of reorient us in the direction we're supposed to be going. So I am definitely getting a bit turned around at this point. But yeah, the Nirnroot collecting is really getting to me at this point. I'm feverishly looking around for Nirnroot. Especially because, you know, it's one of those things that the goal ain't too high. You know, collect 30. Okay, that's not too crazy. But I'm guessing that it will be difficult to find all 30. It seems like one of those things that they'll make it a real pain in the ass to get all 30 of them. It's the best way to make my way over there. Let's cross the water. Because some of them seem a little bit more obscure than others. Alright, I'm trying to keep an eye out. Oh, we made our way over to this. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, now this I remember a little bit. I mean, it's also, of course, a very curious looking object. I think, what is going on here? Ah! Everyone's so aggressive around here. Yeah, I did not necessarily want to get into a fight with you. I was willing to be friendly. I think, if I remember correctly... Well, let's see if I remember correctly, huh? You know, I don't need to tell you about it. No, maybe not. How do you activate it? Is it a shout? What do I have to do? Yes, it is. It's a shout. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I heard a dragon in the background. Very faintly. Oh! There it is. I thought I might have to hit it 3 times, but there's the dragon right there. Honestly, that is one of the things I really remember about Blackreach. Like, when I think about Blackreach, this is one of the first things I think of. Is this, like, weird little gong that you can hit, and then you summon a dragon in this underground cavern. I always thought that was really cool. What is this dragon doing? Oh my goodness, it is firing at me. I see it. I lost it for a moment. Alright, let's go and engage it. I'm ready to fight. I feel like it's gonna fly away the second I get to it. But yeah, this is one of the things I really remember. Is the, oh man, I just forgot that dragon. Didn't do much. It's the big dragon you can encounter. Oh, he's a tough one too. He's got a lot of health on him. Volthriol. Something like that. I mean, look, I am not known for my great pronunciation. Frankly, I'm not known for my great pronunciation of any language, including English at times, so do not come to me expecting excellent pronunciation of dragon names. You know, I do not mean to offend my dragon enemy. Okay, this guy is kind of whooping my ass. Where is Lydia? I mean, I appreciate that she's taken on the Falmer up there, but I'm gonna be honest, I could sort of use the help down here. You know, maybe I should have handled everybody in the fort before I summoned a whole ass dragon. Or maybe not. You know, we're doing fine. This guy is a little tough, but I think we got him. I also think that Falmer is attacking the dragon as well. There we go. We killed him. Yeah, so this is one of the things I really remember from this dungeon that I thought was super cool when I first saw it. I really could not tell you the lore of this guy. First off, I don't know if I even know the lore, and if I do, I don't remember it. But, pretty cool, huh? Pretty damn cool. An underground dragon. See, this dungeon is really a standout for Skyrim, with all the extra sort of lore, the nooks and crannies you can find, the quests you can pick up, the fact that they've taken one of the main elements of the game, you know, the dragons, and they have actually integrated it into this dungeon, you know. It's just an absolute standout, in my opinion. What do we have down here? Nirnroot? Is that a giant? Jesus. I can see on my little radar that there's more enemies in here. I wonder if anything would happen if I hit this again. No, doesn't seem like it. And, you know, I mean, look, we've already summoned a dragon. What else am I expecting, right? Goodness, and we have an interior to explore. I also love I think, you know, one of the doors led us to a marketplace, a pump house, a debate hall. I mean, clearly, this seems like a university in particular, but, you know, clearly this was once upon a time a thriving city of sorts. A thriving underground Dwemer city. And now all that it is left is, you know, the weird Falmer and the Dwemer automatons. I don't want to fight, but these guys do want to fight. Okay, I feel like maybe we'll discover this lore as we go through this dungeon, but I need someone to tell me in the comments, what on earth is the deal with this place? What is the deal with the big gong summoning the dragon? What on earth is going on with all the people down here? Honestly, that might be the thing that's thrown me off the most. I mean, I expect weird little creatures and Nernroot and stuff down here, but the people, the human beings, what on earth are they doing down here as Falmer servants? Are they people who came here on adventures and were snatched? Like that adventuring party we read the journal from, like near the top? Or is it something else? I have no idea. I mean, they're very... well, they seem pretty devoted to the cause. I really... I'm backing off. I don't want to fight, fellas. They don't really seem like people who have just been snatched, unless they've been brainwashed afterwards. I feel like I need to know the lore of this place. It's a lot of strange stuff, a lot of interesting stuff. I don't want to fight. It's also very odd that, what does this do? Oh, fantastic. I was about to leave. It's also odd that, you know, they're not immediately hostile when they see you, but like the second you get even remotely close to them, you give it like 2 seconds, bam, they're hostile, they're ready to fight. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm coming in with peace and love. I mean, I may think it very odd that you're serving the Falmer and, you know, but I'd like to know your story. I'm more curious than I am hostile. Interesting. Alright, we have an exit to Blackreach and then another elevator that brings us up. Let's take the elevator. They've done us right so far. I love a good elevator. I mean, I don't really. I love an elevator in Skyrim, I'll put it that way. I mean, elevators in real life, you know, that's not really exciting, but in Skyrim, pretty unique. Alright, we're sort of up at the top. We can get a closer look at this thing. Just wanted to check it. Hello, everybody. I'm going to sit on the throne. I am now the king of the Falmer. Oh, man. I ran right into him. Thing is, they are such pushovers. So, you know, I mean, fair enough, I guess, protect your home or whatever, but, y'all do not stand a chance. Alright, there isn't really anything up here. You get a closer look at, the big orb, and you can sit on the throne? Question mark? Maybe it's just a chair, I don't know. Maybe it's just someone's lookout chair, but it looked like a bit of a throne setup, plus they were flanking it like they were guarding it. So I don't know. Maybe 'twas. Alright, we're a little bit lower. Anything up here? No. But I think I'm gonna jump off. Okay, I was very worried I was gonna die there. And that's where we just were, the Hall of Rumination. Alright, let's check out the debate hall. See if there's anything interesting in there. I will say, and frankly, I've been giving Skyrim a lot of praise this episode, so, you know, I don't think I'm appearing negative at all. I think I appear far more negative in our average episode of this Let's Play, which is something that, you know, I've tried to cover, but also I get it. Not that anyone's been complaining. I mean, I like preemptively defend myself against accusations of being too negative or too critical, but no one's commenting like, hey, stop criticizing the game. Anyway, I've been pretty positive this episode. I will say the one thing is that, and I like all this exploration, and I think this is very interesting, but I do wish that, or I'll put it this way, in a sort of more advanced RPG, maybe a newer one, or, well, not even even an older RPG that's a little more advanced, a little more focused on that sort of thing, we would be able to get some lore, a lot of lore from these locations, you know? Maybe there's stuff to read, maybe we can actually interact with the people here. I think what you'll notice is that, of course, I mean, a lot of the stuff we interact with are, like, quote-unquote monsters, but even the people we interact with, the couple of people we've seen throughout our time here, maybe we've heard them say a couple of lines, but then we just go straight into combat. You know, you think in another RPG game, whether we're talking about, I mean, it doesn't even matter, like a Witcher or a Fallout or, you know, whatever, or specifying New Vegas over Fallout. You might be given the opportunity to maybe talk to some of these people, figure out what's going on, maybe be left some clues, I don't know. Ooh, pumping station, alright. That's the only thing, you know. Feels like, I mean, this is it's a pretty remarkable location. There's a lot of good stuff here. And for Skyrim, it's a remarkable amount of depth, but, you know, you do kind of wish that they would add a bit more depth so that as you're getting all this surface level stuff, there's maybe a layer or two deeper. You know, I mean, we found the hut, or not hut, that's a little disrespectful, not home either, sort of like the field office of that researcher who was looking for the Crimson Nirnroot, and that was interesting. What on earth is going on? The Silent City Catacombs. Honestly, I mean, this is something that I may or may not have explored playing this game before. I mean, I find it hard to believe there's something that I've never done before. It could be that. It could be that I've just done it once, like 7 years ago, and I've forgotten about it. Either of those are equally true. Regardless of what it is, I find myself being fairly surprised by a lot of the things I'm seeing during this episode of our Let's Play. Let me in. Wow, would you look at that? Truly catacombs. Well, I mean, catacombs implies sort of a system of, I guess, dead and buried bodies. Not necessarily buried, but dead bodies, which isn't necessarily this. But I guess this might mean, you know, this is more catacombs in the sense of a sort of underground space to traverse. And it's a little catacomby. It's kind of more like a sewer, though, maybe. I don't know. What is going down here in particular? And this is what I'm... You know, this criticism is arising, I think, because, you know, I'm giving this location a real chance. Like, I'm really exploring, I'm checking out a lot of stuff, sort of paying attention more deeply than I usually would for a Skyrim location, which I think is fantastic, and it shows you the intrigue that this place brings, but, it, you know, once you do start to dig, I think you do get a little disappointed when you're like, oh, okay, this is a really cool location with a lot of cool stuff, but it doesn't really have the depth I might want. So we're going through Blackreach and finding all these locations, and we've come across this educational compound of some kind. We've been in the Hall of Ruminations, I think it was, and the Debate Hall, and the Bumping Station, and the Catacombs, but which are great, but once you've been into like your 5th location, you're kind of like, okay, you know, feel like it could be getting a little bit more. I feel like I'm not really discovering that much. I'm getting some cool locations and a bunch of enemies to fight. A bunch of perk points, by the way. We can look at that. We've got our one-handed up to 80. So that's our one hand is going to be strong now. 49 damage, not bad at all. But you're kind of like, all right, you know, where's the it's not no audio logs, but where's the journals? Where's the NPC to interact with? Where's the little clues that I'm supposed to be finding? And unfortunately, I don't think they're here necessarily. Because it is still Skyrim. Alright. Blackreach, and then also Blackreach? Yes.
Huh?
Right. And I guess we'll give this building a once-over. I wasn't entirely sure if we found everything in here.
Oh.
There might have been a little bit more to see. Because I just, I ran up the stairs after a certain point. Yeah, I think there might have been... No. There wasn't something over here. It was just a door out. Alright, I feel like we have given this compound a good amount of time. We very well might have been inside every building here. Maybe, I never want to say always, or I never want to say every. I don't deal in absolutes, because I'm not a Sith, first off, but, I like to give those qualifications, like, maybe I didn't see every building in here, but, we gave it a pretty thorough overview, frankly. Okay, this is not the direction we came in from. Goodness, there's a lot happening down here. We're supposed to be heading down this way, apparently. I don't really see anything on the map. Only these big little... Well, I said big little. These big jellyfish type creatures. What on earth is going on down here? I want to explore more. But I also am kind of like, oh god, will-o'-the-wisps. Or wisp mothers, I guess. I am also kind of like, I'm not sure if there's actually anything to see down here, Like, they make it seem like there is, but there might not really be anything to see down here, apart from more Crimson Nirnroot, which, I do have the collector's bug, so I do want to collect all the Crimson Nirnroot possible, but if this whole area is just more potential Crimson Nirnroot, then I'll be a little bit annoyed. Goodness gracious. Silent Ruin. I'm also trying to work out, like, we need to collect 30 Crimson Nirnroot. Oh, Centurions. They might spawn. Or just one of them, actually. No. I don't think we necessarily need to fight it. I imagine if I took a swing at it, it would come alive. Oh, this is actually the direction we need to go. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. A giant. But yeah, if it's just gonna be Crimson Nirnroot down there, then I don't know if I necessarily want to give it too much time. I feel like we are also kind of going around in circles a little bit at this point, you know? I say, gonna make an executive decision and start heading towards our endpoint. There's the dragon that we killed. Because, you know, we've come... Lydia, what are you doing? You're getting chased by a giant. Oh my goodness. Could you please not do that? Please don't attract the attention of giants. We really, really, really don't need that. Like, really, we don't. Okay, we do have to go right over there. I will say, there's just one more thing. Just one more thing, everybody. Let me just check out this one little area. See if there's anything here. Oh, and something I was wondering. Farm Overseer's house. A whole little community. Is there total 30 Nirnroot down here? Or is there more than 30 Nirnroot? And you just have to find 30. Because if there's only 30 Nirnroot, then that's a little concerning. You can also see some Falmer have taken up residence here from the Falmer bow and the skeever tail left on the dinner table. If there's only 30 Nirnroot, then God, that's going to be annoying to find it all, because we're actually going to have to legitimately go digging. And I'm sure there's plenty of Nirnroot I've passed by without seeing while playing. I mean, my perception is not necessarily my highest skill. I think my insight's pretty good. Any random fantasy references is probably going to be D&D. I think I bring it up too much. Interesting. We have two different waypoints on just the opposite sides of the same building. 16 Crimson Nirnroot. And we saw this little area before, I do believe. Is that more Nirnroot? I gotta check. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta check if that's more Nirnroot. I'm addicted. They've got me. I'm sure that while watching this, some of you have been like, "There's Nirnroot right there. You just missed it." But you know, as I said, my perception may not be incredibly high. I don't want to die right here. And another geode vein. Goodness. Well, I want to mine this geode vein, but kind of want to get this Falmer first. I don't think it's gonna be a little annoying to get to. Not really. Not really. Come on, buddy. Come on, don't be annoying about it. Don't kill me. Okay, there we go. Oh well, we're actually at the extent of our healing ability. Hey, you almost did it, man. Well, maybe not almost, but you came relatively close to cutting me down. Or at least closer than I would like, I'll put it that way. Alright, let me mine this damn geode vein and then get out of here. I feel like our episode today is also running on a bit. And my commentary has seriously dried up. I started off going real strong, but the longer we've gone, the less I have to talk about, which is, I think fair. We've been here for a fair amount of time at this point. I couldn't tell you how much time. I'm supposed to be keeping track of that. So, I have a rough idea how long these episodes are going to be, but I gotta be honest, this episode I've completely failed to keep track at the time. 17 Crimson Nirnroot! That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Is there any more around here? I don't think so. Alright, let me mine this. Soul gems are valuable. And then we'll head through where we need to be. Why did that not mine? Come on. Come on. Alright, Alright, well that's fine. It doesn't want to mine. And I also really don't remember if once we head through those doors, we're going to encounter more Blackreach, or back to like Dwemer dungeons. I really couldn't tell you. But we're gonna head through. We're gonna head through, so that I don't spend like hours down in this one area trying to collect Nerdroot. This feels like a bit of a fool's endeavor as well. Yeah, alright. It is taking us out of here. Okay. We can come back for the Nerdroot. We can come back for the Nerdroot. We were here for something far more important in the first place. You know, an Elder Scroll, one of the most potent magical items one could potentially find. How close are we? We're pretty close. You know, to be honest, I was gonna cut this episode off, like, in Blackreach, but, like, you leave Blackreach, and we're right here, so we might as well finish this. Now that we're here, right? We might as well go through with this. Well, this is... I was gonna say it's similar, but the design is, like, the same as the, what was it called? Y'all know when we were trying to get the Staff of Magnus, and we went to that other Dwemer place? It looked exactly like this. What do I have to do here? I have no idea. Okay. Let me see what these buttons do. I do not remember this puzzle in the slightest. So this is turning the ball. What does this do? Also turns the ball. Okay, do I just keep pressing this till something happens? Oh, okay. That button can no longer be pressed. I don't think this is a... it's not one of these, is it? No. No, it is not. Okay, well, we pressed the other button a bunch of times. Now we'll press this one a bunch of times and see if something happens. Oh! 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 Hello. There we go. Now we've got something moving. Alright, so I think this is just a case of press the buttons until it's in the correct order. There you go. Which is, not much of a puzzle. There we go! We got our Elder Scroll. Holy shit. That was quite the quest line. Or quite the quest. Huh. Let's read his journal. Drucht is a simple man. This is not a journal, and he is not going to be telling any stories. 5 rings, but only 4 buttons? No, is this supposed to be our guide to the old Fleabag Khajiit that sold me this cube? This is a Oh, Fleabag Khajiit. What sold me this supposed to be a country bumpkin, I think, if you read the text. Tried to leave, but wolves to the top. I remember that. When you leave, you encounter wolves. And them eyeless freaks outside the tower. Falmer, gotta stay here till I get it right, and I will get it right. Jesus, Drucht, come on, man. He never got it right. He ended his life right here. I feel sad for our friend Drucht. A simple countryman, I think. Alright, give me the lexicon. Gotta give that to Septimus. Alright. Well, we have more Crimson Nirnroot to find, but I'm fucking sick and tired of it for now, so we'll go back later. What we have to do is defeat the wolves waiting for us, which kept poor Drucht stuck in there. I mean, I get it. You know, he's a regular guy. What is he gonna do? Fight a bunch of wolves? Probably not. He's probably not gonna do that. Oh, right. We already defeated the wolves. Duh. You guys remember when we came in? We defeated a bunch of wolves. Those are the wolves he was talking about. Goodness. My memory needs to be jogged. Alright, let's go talk to Septimus. And then we're going to leave it there. That feels like a good place to leave it. Because the next thing we have to do is the Civil War. And we're actually going to do it, okay? We're not going to continue the main quest line. We're going to hop to the Civil War. I know that it's a little narratively unsatisfying, but I've really been trying to get to the Civil War for quite a while now, and so I think we're actually getting the opportunity to do it. Hello, Septimus.
When the top level was built, no more could be placed. It was and is the maximum apex.
Okay. Anyway, I've inscribed the lexicon.
Give it quickly.
There.
Extraordinary. I see it now. The ceiling structure interlocks in the tiniest fractals.
Huh?
Dwemer blood can loose the hooks, but none alive remain to bear it.
Right.
A panoply of their brethren could gather to form a facsimile. A trick. Something they did not anticipate. No, not even them. The blood of Altmer, Bosmer, Dunmer, Falmer, and Orsimer. The elves still living provide the key. Bear you hence this extractor. It will drink the fresh blood of elves. Come when its set is complete.
Yes, I do remember. I do remember this quest. What an odd one. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. What is happening? Also, as you can see, before we get to that, we're talking about, in order, it needs the blood of the Dwemer to open it. We don't have that, so we must get the blood of the other elves. Elf is a broad term in Skyrim. It includes the Dwemer, all those elves you saw, and also includes orc blood. I don't exactly know the lore, but elf is a bit of a broad thing. Alright. Alright, let's see what's happening.
Come closer. Bask in my presence.
Who are you?
I am Hermes Mora. I am the guardian of the unseen, a knower of the unknown. I have been watching you, mortal.
Uh-oh.
Most impressive.
Thank you. Okay, I frankly dread to ask what Hermaeus Mora wants of me, but what do you want of me?
Your continuing aid to Septimus renders him increasingly obsolete. He has served me well, but his time is nearing its end. Once that infernal lockbox is opened, he will have exhausted his usefulness to me. When that time comes, you shall take his place as my emissary.
No.
What say you?
I don't want to do that. I don't know if it's wise, to be honest, but I'm not bowing. You know what? I guess we'll be brave for once. I'll never join you, vile demon.
Be warned, many have thought as you do. I have broken them all. You shall not evade me forever.
I totally forgot that this was part of the main quest. I forgot about the blood harvesting, and when he started talking about the blood harvesting, I was like, oh, this is getting sinister, but I completely forgot about that. And then I also forgot about this. Okay. It's because now it's separated from the main quest line, that's why. So that's no longer a required aspect of the main quest line. We've gotten our Elder Scroll, now we can go do whatever we want with that. That's probably why I don't remember this, because even if you're doing the main quest line, which I've already described, I don't necessarily do very often, this ain't part of it, so I probably do this quest line even less often, but cut all that out of your mind. We've reached an important point in the main story, and I don't want to leave it on too much of a cliffhanger, but that's exactly what I will be doing, because I want to save it for when we can do the entire thing. So, next episode, we're going to be moving on to the Civil War questline, and against the wishes of some of you, I'm going to be joining the Stormcloaks. I know there's all this debate about the ideology, and the Stormcloaks are racist, which is very bad. But I often go with the Stormcloaks. You know, like I've said before, there is something about the homeland freedom fighters fighting for their country which is appealing to me. And also, it's not like my character would necessarily look at this from a broad geopolitical perspective. He's living through it. You know, he's going to view it through his lived experience, right? So, anyway. We're going to be doing the Stormcloaks. Plus, I just think it's kind of interesting to do the Stormcloaks. So that's what we will be starting next time. That's what we'll have in store for next week. We had some real interesting stuff this episode. This was probably going to be a long episode. A real interesting one. You know, we basically did Blackreach. That's what we did today. We got ourselves an Elder Scroll, so that's some pretty good stuff. We did a lot of exploring. We dug quite deep in depth, you know, much deeper than we usually go, I'll put it that way. So yeah, I had a good time with this one. I am excited to do the Civil War questline, and then we can return to the main story, and then from there, we'll have a bunch of other stuff to do. I'll put it that way. Maybe we'll come back to good old Hermaeus Mora. We've got a bunch of other Daedric questlines to do. We've got Dragon Priest to kill. We've got DLC to do. My goodness, we've got a whole world of stuff to do in this game, but Stormcloaks are coming up next. If you guys enjoyed this one, I'd appreciate it if you would leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, especially if you hit that notification, that bell button, then YouTube will let you know whenever I release a new video, but I release them every weekend, either on Saturday or Sunday, so just stop by during the weekend and you'll be getting a new Skyrim upload. I hope you guys are having a good day today, and I will see you all again